the snow, then the sub-zero temps. We're going to track the storm, look at what's next, and check around our area to see how communities are digging out and dealing with it all. Then the new book that gives an inside look at the Trump campaign and the Trump White House. Let's just say fact, stranger than fiction. We'll take a very close look at what's inside. Then we take a little bit closer look at home to some of the Democrats who are facing big challenges in the year ahead as it relates with dollars and cents. I'm talking about the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, and county executives in both Westchester and Nassau counties. Evening, everybody, and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. Good luck dealing with today. We begin this evening with a winter storm that has been pounding our area all day long. Now, 5-1 meteorologist Joe Cioffi, he joins to talk about the storm and also the brutal cold spell that has come along with it. And Joe, you know, a lot of people went to bed last night thinking that maybe a couple inches here or there. Worse if you got Long Island or the coast. Oh, no. It was worse than I think everybody expected. And thank God a lot of the schools canceled today. This thing was a mess. Well,
it was a full-fledged blizzard, pretty much by any standard. You could have even included the old temperature criteria, which they used to have, and they took out with temperatures down near 20. We had blizzard conditions in a large part of the I-95 corridor, right from New Jersey up through New England. And we still have issues to deal with tonight because even though the accumulating snow is over and we look at the radar, a lot of the snow is falling apart. But the accumulating snow, but we've got blowing snow and visibilities that are going to be down to near zero. So roads that were paved are going to be snow covered again by a couple of inches, and you may not realize that while you're driving. So you're going to need to exercise a lot of caution in the next 24 hours.
If you want to, let's go through some of the maps and some of the numbers we're looking at here as we're looking at this right now. At the end of the day, if you were on the island in Suffolk, particularly in some of the Jersey coast, you got almost a foot, right?
There were some 12 to a foot to a foot and a half up and down from Monmouth and Ocean County southward to Atlantic and Cape May. On Long Island, it was along the lines of 8 to 16 inches. In the Hudson Valley, southern areas of the Hudson Valley, let's say about 6 to 10. And then you start to go north, it was a little bit less. Northwestern New Jersey, a little bit less. But, you know, still definitely problematic. And now the big issue with the wind, because we've been gusting to 50 miles an hour or more, especially along coastal locations. So we're coupling that with these temperatures that are going to be down in the single digits. So it'll feel like it's 10 to 20 below. If you look at the satellite, right on the corner, the storm is in the Gulf of Maine. The low earlier was east of New Jersey, but it's continuing to race away to the northeast. But we're getting this frigid air that's coming down from the Arctic straight through eastern Canada and down the Hudson Valley, where it has no, when cold air comes in from the west and has to travel over the mountains, it tends to warm a little bit, so the air mass moderates. This is not going to be doing that. So we're going to see temperatures about as cold as we can get. And Sunday morning in particular, would not be at all surprised to see some readings down 10, 15 degrees below zero.
Jeez.
Good news, and there is good news. This Arctic connection that we've had from just before Christmas through this weekend is going to relax next week. So that'll at least bring temperatures back to average, maybe a little bit above, and that might start to melt a little this snow away.
Question, and you know, all the parents are asking us before the schools make the notice, because of the complications, because of the freezing temps here, and because the roads, they haven't gotten a chance, a lot of these guys, to plow it, and a lot of the salt didn't do the trick. I think a lot of places aren't going to have school tomorrow. Well,
it's certainly a decision that school districts are going to have that criteria to look at. It brought a chuckle to my mind because they just had a long Christmas vacation and now they've got them home for 2 more days. But yeah, I would think, the way I always look at this sort of stuff with the cold and the snow and getting around, common sense. You know, just make sure you dress appropriately, layered clothing, mittens, et cetera, et cetera. And try to limit your exposure, and that'll carry you through the day. It's when you don't exercise common sense that you run into problems.
And we're going to be talking a lot about this hour, not exercising common sense, but it has nothing to do with the weather. Joe, thank you very much. But staying with the weather trend, let's go around our area to check on the conditions. And let's start off on the island where Krista McNally reports live from Deer Park. Krista?
Good evening. That's right. A messy commute on Long Island today. Now, there was a lot of snow accumulation, but the bigger problem may have been the wind. The wind was kicking up the snow, making visibility very poor. And another problem we're seeing is problems on the Long Island Railroad. We're here at the Deer Park train station where a truck was stuck on the tracks earlier today, suspending the entire Ronkonkoma branch. And now there are delays and cancellations throughout the Long Island Railroad as we speak. And even getting to some of these train stations can be extremely dangerous.
If I was you, I wouldn't go out here, that's for sure. Doesn't make sense. Stay home. Wait till the roads are clear to go out tomorrow.
A tow truck driver in Lindenhurst was prepared for a day full of towing cars that were stuck. We did see several cars stuck in the snow on the side of the roads during our travels around Suffolk County during the storm. You could see in this video members of the Lindenhurst Fire Department pushing a vehicle that was stuck in the middle of the road to get them out. Steve Nicholas was plowing a parking lot and says that the wind was pushing around the snow so much he was going to have to go back and plow it 3 or 4 more times.
It's pretty bad. I mean, we got here about an hour ago, and it basically looks like we didn't do anything yet.
Now, again, you should not be on the roads if you do not have to be. And for the latest on delays and cancellations on the Long Island Railroad, you can visit their website at mta.info/LIRR. For now, we're in Deer Park. Krista McNally, FiOS 1 News.
Thank you very much, Chris. We've linked a lot of that information as well to our website on FiOS 1. Now let's get over to New Jersey with Raven Santana. She's in Woodbridge Township. Raven?
Hey, yeah, cars behind me have been whizzing by here on Route 1 and 9 North, despite it still being a very messy and dangerous commute for those heading back home from work today. I spoke with people from ShopRite who described that dangerous commute on roadways, even traveling from a short distance. What are you most nervous about when you're out driving?
It's just the wind, basically, and then the ice and everything slipping off, and then getting stuck.
Everybody's just trying to get places. I'm just trying to get some groceries for the house, you know. It's just really bad. I haven't seen it this bad in a while. As you see, I have my face covered, a scarf, you know. It's pretty bad out here. Very dangerous, man. My legs hurting, you know. I'm just trying to get some stuff in the car. Just say my son's waiting so he could help me load the stuff in the house.
What was Route 1 and 9 like?
It's really messy. It's really bad out there. It's really bad.
Again, still a very messy and dangerous commute for those heading home this evening. So it's important to remain alert and drive slowly as you are heading down these roadways because they are still very slippery and that wind is still very strong. We're live in Woodbridge Township. Raven Santana, FiOS 1 News.
Thank you very much, Raven. And now we go over north to Westchester County. That's where Mary Muller is, and she's coming to us from Elmsford. Mary?
Good evening, Rich. It is bitterly cold tonight here in Elmsford, and even though the snow has stopped, these wind gusts haven't, and that's what's making it so hard to be outside. And also officials dealing with chunks of ice like this. This is coming from my car, but this is what's developing on those roads overnight, and that is why officials are telling people to keep off the roadways. We're here at the Sam's Club in Elmsford, and we've seen a few people going in and out to get some items like blankets, bottled water, but again, officials saying if you can stay inside, please do that. The harsh winds, steady snow, and freezing cold is here in Westchester. Several roads up north in Hawthorne pretty treacherous. Take a look as my photographer and I tried to make it up a hill from the County Office of Emergency Management.
Oh my God, I think we're gonna make it out.
At points, strong winds making for whiteout conditions.
It's crazy, it's whiteout conditions, you can't see nothing. You gotta have a Jeep, man, it's nuts. I don't know how anybody's driving without a four-wheel drive.
Westchester County Executive George Latimer.
So even roads that have been plowed will have to be replowed because of the blowing and drifting snow. And so the continual task for our local DPW departments exist.
That means a lot of work ahead for public works crews. In Elmsford, some venturing to this Sam's Club to get some needed items like blankets and boots.
I have sneakers. I need boots for the snow.
This man from the Dominican Republic experiencing his first snowstorm.
How do you like it?
It's perfect.
You don't miss the beach?
Nah.
And if you're trying to get to the beach, good luck, because there have been no flights that have taken off from the Westchester County Airport today due to the storm. In Elmsford, Mary Muller, FiOS 1 News.
Mary, thank you. I don't know about that guy. I'd miss the beach. All right, coming up next, we will switch gears from the storm to another storm, and that is that one brewing over the latest book as we talk some politics. He didn't even want to win. He's semi-literate. The White House even more chaotic than it seems. Those just a few of the revelations in a bombshell new book about Donald Trump that is making front page news everywhere.